Where are we up here? Let's see. Looks good. Good morning, good morning. Oh, Tennessee is here this morning. Hello, hello. Okay, picking up where we left off yesterday. It's the same old, same old. Audio is fine. Don't talk to me about the audio. I think we should be okay for a while. Who knows? Let's see. Okay, let's have a go at some of this. We're just actually cleaning up where we almost finished off yesterday. So, not quite sure where I was. What was I doing? We just finished outlining this area. There's going to be in Japan overall this morning. I guess a lot of people late for work this morning all over Japan because the World Cup game was on last night. I didn't watch it, but it started at just around midnight, so finished up by 2 or something, I guess. So there'll be a lot of late people this morning, and again, all these tips have to be cleaned. I could actually leave this just to do with the knife, but I'd like to get them as close as possible to what we like, just so I can see them on the tracing paper. The knife will do most of this. You could imagine actually having a system like this where the pad and the software here was controlling knives, you know, it was controlling a CNC machine or something. Draw it here. The knives would be busy cutting the block for you, and I suppose that system is coming, I guess. We could build it, I suppose. I'm not so interested in doing that. You could do that. Okay, what have we got left here? We've been covering most of this. We've come around and around now. This is the area below the main octopus. We've got a bit of area, okay. There's not too much left here on this green block. Yeah, I can get away with the headphones, I think. We'll see. If it starts to be trouble, I'll put the phones on so I can hear what's going on. So it's 4 blocks, yes, exactly. 4 blocks both sides. So I have no idea. I didn't hear anything last night. I don't know. I went to bed, whatever, 10:30, 11 o'clock. The game started near midnight. I didn't hear anything. I don't think it wasn't. The bars are all closed here long before that. So it wasn't the kind of game that they would have been watching in the bars. Not at least in this part of town. Maybe over in Roppongi, I don't know. No idea. But around here last night, there was nothing. And the game turned out pretty well, it seems. They had a 2-2 result, which means Japan is almost certainly going through to the final 16. Not that I'm, you know, hip to all that stuff, but they're almost certainly going through. A source of a lot of pride for people here. You know, so. Okay, let's keep this up. Let's keep this up. This is unusual too. This straight green edge here you see down here. This is the first time I've seen this on this print. Up to now, what they've done with the green is they've kept it like this, straight edge along the bottom of the key block lines, and then at the top they've done zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. At the top here, they've left it straight. And again, I suspect this is just a little bit of carelessness on the part of the original carver. That is probably the way he did do it. When you look at this, the area we've just done, you know, the tips of those zigzags are almost all in exactly a straight line. So when he carved the area, he would have carved it first, chunk, chunk, carved it out, and then put notches in it after he was done. And here's an area where he's carved the line straight and hasn't notched it out. Yeah, I can see that now, actually. When you do this, when you pop off some of our tracing here, you can see that. You can see what I'm pointing to here. This area here, there's points, 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 flat, 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 point, point, flat. I hadn't thought about it before, but that must be exactly how he did it. There's so many places where the points aren't quite points, but they're a bit flat. So he clearly must have carved the rough shape first and then notched it. And this one is not notched. Fun. blurred here. I know this is again the left book page and the right book page, and when I borrowed the book from Wedesan to scan it here, if it had been my book, I could have cut the strings and taken it apart and re-sewn it, but he didn't want me to do that, so I had to scan it as it was. And one side was able to get flat, but the other side really wouldn't go quite flat, so I've had to put up with a blurred corner here. When I was doing the key block, I just, of course, just drew some shapes that looked good, and we have to do the same thing here now, so it's no big deal. If it's a quiet day today, that suits me just fine. It's okay, you know. So iPad work isn't so interesting for anybody, but it's something I do have to do. I'm sorry, that's all there is to it. So today will be the last iPad day for quite a while. What's happening this morning? I'll finish this green block today, and this is not obviously going to be enough for a full screen here today. So I'm going to finish the green block and go ahead and do the black block, the block with those black dots, and then put the iPad away. We'll print those two sheets out today or tomorrow. And when it comes back time on Wednesday, I should be carving, I think, Wednesday morning. If it's not a sizing day on Wednesday, it'll be a carving day. We'll actually be back onto the wood. So those of you who are a bit frustrated because this is not so interesting recently, and I'm sorry, it's part of the job I have to do. So. What I might also have on Wednesday, I shouldn't perhaps leak this because I'm really still not quite sure exactly what's going to happen, is there was some intense auction action here last night. There was a few auctions up, and one of them I was very interested in because it looked like quite a rare item came up, but it all depends on how well the seller described it. And we'll tell the full story when I show you the print. I bought something in an auction last night, and if the seller's description was accurate, which is not guaranteed, if the seller's description was accurate, then we have a real find for a really interesting price. But it's possible he didn't quite know what he was describing. Whatever, it's the Hashiguchi Goyo prints that were made back in the Taisho era were reproduced by two different companies in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Hashiguchi Goyo died quite young, which was, I'm sorry about this, but it was lucky for the people later, because it meant that his copyrights expired. I think he died in whatever, 1930 something or whatever. So his copyrights expired in the 1980s. And two companies, the Yuyudo company and the Tansei company in Kyoto and Tokyo, they both jumped on and did some reproductions of Hashiguchi Goyo prints, designs. And we see them not quite frequently in auctions. I've got some here. We keep them in the shop whenever we get them. If I can buy them on auctions at reasonable prices, I pick them up because they're very well made, nice reproductions. And both the two companies, Yuyudo and Tansei, they both made two kinds of reproductions of the Goyo prints. They made the bulk of their reproductions at a reduced size. Goyo made his original prints really quite large. They're around a double oban, which is stupendously large for a kind of print like that. This area, I don't know where the key block is, so I'm just going to cover this as a single green block for now. We'll trim it back at carving time after we can see what the shape really looks like. Anyway, the Goyo prints were reproduced by both Yuyudo and Tansei in two sizes, in a slightly reduced size, which is somewhere between oban and double oban. And then they made a few reproductions of the most spectacular designs at the original size that the prints were made, like in the Taisho era. And these are really rare. You don't come across these at all very often. They must have made only really a few copies. I don't know, or anyway, a few hundred copies, not so many copies. And they really don't come up very often. What happens is when you're looking at one of these prints in the auctions, the auction guy has just taken a photograph of it, whatever, and looking at the photograph, you can't tell what it is, whether it's one of the very, very, very more common smaller size prints, or whether it's one of the quite rare full size prints. And a number of years ago here, I picked up one of these. I picked up one of the larger size ones. It was spectacular print, not knowing what I was getting because the seller hadn't put the dimensions of the print in the auction. And I hadn't even wildly assumed it would be one of the rare large ones. I just assumed it was one of the smaller ones. I bid for it at a fairly low price. And when it arrived, it turned out that it was one of the big ones. We were spectacularly shocked. Anyway, last night's auction was similar. He didn't put the size in. I looked at the image and thought, that looks like it's one of the larger ones, because the color tones are a little bit different and the shape of the eyes are a little bit different. And oops, I still need that. So I'm trying not to be one of these people that gets too greedy, you know, and expect too much. But it's possible that we may last night have picked up another one of the very large ones. I'm trying not to count on that because I don't want to be disappointed. And we'll see what happens. So it's gonna arrive. I paid for it last night through the bank, and he's going to ship it today. So we'll get it Tuesday. So maybe we'll do a show and tell on Wednesday. We'll see about it. Oops. So these zones here are just defined shapes. We won't know what they look like until I get the key block transferred down. Right, that might be it. I think there's one corner left to finish off over here on this block. I didn't finish off the right-hand corner when I started. So. Okay, I think that's our green block done. Carving on that should be fun, you know. It won't be too difficult. Nowhere near as difficult as the key block. Might be a day's carving once I get started on it. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, where are we over here? Oh, missing a bit of this. Yeah, Coding Gummy's asking you these triangle things, you know. The carver has decided to cut some. If I hide my tracing here, you know. They've carved out some of the white triangles and some of them they haven't carved out, you know. It's all over the place. Yeah, this one's a good example here, right here. He's not only carved one, he's carved the wrong way. He's carved the inside, then left the outside, carved the inside, carved the outside by mistake. Another indication again of really how fast this was going on, you know. So again, I'm not sure, do I make this neat and clean? My own personality wants me to really clean up these little anemones, absolutely. These ones that are right in the middle of the screen, at the bottom of your screen there, you can see what's happened. You know, it's a bit misregistered, but you can see the white triangles are cut out, but it's also then cut out a couple of the outside spaces. It's inconsistent. But I think in general the pattern is clear. Those anemone things, or whatever they are, there's 5 triangles, and in general the 5 triangles are popped out in white. So I think what I'll do myself is I'm a neat and clean obsessive personality, so I'll go through and I'll carve most of them in the correct way, I think. I might be inconsistent in the way I'm copying some things from this original and doing some things the other way around. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Our print will look very much like the original. You know, we asked before, do I copy all the mistakes or do I not copy the mistakes? Here in the middle too, there's one area right in the middle of where I'm showing you there. There's some of the anemones against the octopus where they didn't put any green in there at all. He's a lefty. Yes, I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty. Yeah, done like the original, but more carefully. Can't be too bad. Yeah, that sort of sounds okay, doing it more carefully. The problem is if you're too careful, the thing becomes neat and clean and mechanical. It loses a bit of the feel and interest. I learned that when I was doing some of the earlier reproductions I did, you know. If it's too careful and too slow and too neat and too clean, it just loses some life. And so you have to be careful. Okay, now, here we go. We've still got lots of time here left today, so let me get busy with the next one. We've got these black dots. You see scattered here, all of this. There's black dots that are just some kind of random thing put in to make it look a bit more like naturalistic scenery. You know, we've got, these are rocks with seaweed on the seashore, and I've got no idea what specific objects these black dots are supposed to represent, but they certainly give a more of a natural feel to the greenery here. But as we said before yesterday, on the right hand side of this image there's black dots here, but if I swipe across to the left hand side, let's go up the top where we can see, excuse me lady, up the top here, you can see the borderline, and the right hand side of the image has green and yellow and black, and the left hand side has just the green. I've looked around the net and other copies of the print do have the yellow, so when it comes time to trace the yellow I'll have access to other copies for reference, but I cannot find anywhere another copy that has the black dots. And I think the carver who carved that block, remember the left side and right side are different blocks, and I think the carver that carved that block just simply either popped them off or they didn't get drawn or whatever, they got forgotten. And I cannot find any copy anywhere that has them. So again, what do we do? I think for me it would look really bizarre. I'm making this as a single sheet print, not as book pages. So there's no way I'm going to just put the black dots on the right hand side and nothing on the left hand side. They're clearly drawn. It's not a mistake. They're not ink drops. They're not mistakes. They're not errors. It's clearly something that was drawn as part of the design. But somewhere along the process, whap, whap, whap with the chisel, whoops, or he didn't even notice, out they came. So what I'll do, I'll start in one corner here somewhere. Let's do what I did before. Start in the bottom right hand corner. Make a new layer. A new transparent layer. Height. Set the layer opacity to 50%. blending mode normal, and start tracing. To recap again for people that didn't catch what we were talking about the other day, I'm tracing now. I'll do it in the open area so you can see it. I'm tracing with a red brush here, and the brush is set to 100% opacity, but the layer is set to 50% opacity so that I can actually see the things below when I'm doing this. Let's undo that. And the point being here, let me blow this up again just for an example. If I'm trying to trace this green blob, this allows me to trace the green blob. I can see where I'm going. We're tracing this green. And because it's still 50%, I can see the green below. So it turns out as I'm tracing, if I go too far, whoops, I can see what I'm doing. Whereas if that brush was full opacity, I wouldn't be able to see when I went too far. And what we'll do at the end of the day, when I'm ready to print this out, let me go back to the previous layer that I did with the green stuff. Show that layer. If I change this layer now to be 100% opacity, that red now becomes solid. And if I hide the stuff below it, bingo, I've got a solid red thing, which when we print out becomes black on my laser printer, and that becomes my tracing to carve that block. So that's the process here. Put it back before I save everything here. So here we are, our new layer. Oops, let's get rid of that, get it out of the way. So here we go. I now have to trace a bunch of black blobs. Dead Steve. I did fix it, but if you really want to get compulsive about it, you'll see that the top right one is 1 pixel lower than the left one. And I can't fix it without, it just, the thing has a semi-snap, and it doesn't really snap, but it does snap. It won't let me do it pixel by pixel by pixel. I got to leave you something to obsess over, right? Oops, pencil's a bit too big here. These two, I shouldn't worry too much about the shape here because that's going to be taken care of by the knife. Isn't this fun, going on the internet and watching some guy draw black blobs? We have a bit of the same problem here that I had when I was doing the Great Wave. In that these blobs were printed with a thick, rich black pigment, and the guy really swabbed it on quite heavily. So the black blobs have, I don't know if you can see it. If I expand it too much, it gets really pixelated, but maybe you can see it on this middle one here. If you look at this black blob in the center of my screen at the bottom, it looks sort of a little bit grayish, and then around the outside of it, it's more of an intense black around the outside of it. Not quite sure if you can see on this. And the gray part in the middle, the dark gray part in the middle, is the actual carved blob. And then that thin line of blacker thing around the edge, that's where the pigment blurbed over the edge of the carved place. It's what we call tamari. Usually it's something we try and avoid as much as possible. If you rub too much ink on the block, too much pigment on the block, the paste hangs over the edge of the carved lines and spoils the definition of your lines. And if you did that, for example, on the key block, all the lines would get fat and blobbed up and you'd lose all the character. But here, in order to make those blobs as black and intense as as necessary, he really poured it on. And all of the black blobs have this ring of a pasty overflow around the edge of them. So if I trace now to include that thick black outline, then my blobs are going to be larger. And then if we did the same thing, maybe printed with a bit too much paste, our blobs would get even larger still. So again, this is why I sort of can't automatically select this stuff with a selection tool. We talked about this when I was doing the Great Wave. I can't just click to select color here, because if I do that, it'll select the wrong area. I need to draw here the shape that will print the blob I want, not draw the blob that I see, if you get what I mean. This is one reason why we can't automate this process quite as much as we would like to. Just click into each one of these blobs, the automatic selection tool. I got lots of feedback on that during the wave. Dave, you don't have to do this manually. Just click, click, click. The selection tool will do this for you, picking up that blue color. Well, yes and no. So you can see each one of these that I'm coloring. There's a bit of a black line still around the outside of it. That's the tamari. That's the paste overflow. What's the word? We saw it in a few places on the green block here too. I didn't specifically mention it. Here's one on the green block. See this long scoop of green? I can't, so you can't see what I'm talking about. In the bottom of your screen, just about exactly halfway through, just below the split there, there's a green 45-degree angle going up the top left. It's got quite a dark shape along the edge of it. This is tamari. This is glue squeezing out along the top of it. And the glue squeeze out and pigment always looks darker than the real printed places, because when we print, we push the pigment down into the paper. But that glue squeeze out, because it's not between the wood and the barren, didn't get squeezed into the paper. It's just stuck on the front surface of the paper. Today was, yesterday was crazy in the shop again. 4 parties. Well, actually, we're supposed to have 5. The last people were a no-show. The last party at 4 o'clock was a no-show. And they had specifically asked us for an extra time slot, which we said yes, arranged to make sure that we had 3 staff here for it. And they didn't show. Is it heavier on the right of the blobs? And these look quite all the way around. No, I'm not quite sure. I think they're all around, left, right, and center. The guys just really roughly rub the pigment across. So. Yeah, the prepay for the print parties. We blow hot and cold on this all the time, After a few episodes of where there's a no-show, we sit there thinking, okay, that's it. We have got to start charging in advance. And then it sort of fades away for a while, and there's a few weeks go by with no problems, and we think, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then a couple of episodes again. It's a big deal switching to prepay. We think it'll reduce reservations quite a bit. There's a question of which is the lesser of the evils. At the moment, it's really easy for people to sign up and come here. We've got as few barriers as possible. They don't have to jump to PayPal. They don't have to make their actual decision. Will I be in Tokyo? Will I be in Asakusa at that particular time, at that particular day? We understand it's difficult for people to figure out when they're going to be here. And if we make it too restrictive and force payment in advance for everything, then I think it would reduce the reservations quite a bit. So accepting some loss because of no-shows, I think it's just sort of the cost of doing business. And actually, the staff, the 2 people that were here, Kawai-san and Nakamura-san, when it became obvious that the customers weren't going to show up, we don't know. Sometimes they're a few minutes late, so we're waiting. But after 15, 20, 25 minutes go by, it's sort of, here we are. It's becoming obvious we have a no-show. So those 2 guys were just relaxing, they're fine. They weren't all that unhappy about it because they'd worked hard all day long doing these parties. So for the last party in the day to be a no-show, they weren't upset about it in any way. Because that one was extracurricular, it was an extra time, it hadn't stopped. It hadn't stopped anybody else from making a reservation, so there was really no damage on yesterday's. It was just potential loss of potential revenue. But we were okay. We wanted to relax. Look at this one. Don't know what this is. This could be blurry because of the scan broken up. There's clearly a black dot on the top right here. There's one below it, I guess, which is a bit blurred. And then there's something, a black object, whatever. Let's just make another black dot there. Okay, that's the right hand side. Is that all done? Let's go up the top. Did we do that? Excuse me? Yes. Oh no, we didn't do the top yet. Yeah. I can see too now, they're misregistered at the top. That block has shrunk. Can't draw them into the octopus itself. Oh, is it that time already? What's happening here? What day is it today? Today is Monday, so this must be Cameron's incoming. Soka, Soka, Soka. Soka, how was your weekend, sir?
Oh, that's good.
It seems like I just asked you, like it was 2 or 3 years ago. How was your weekend?
Feels like it.
Time is going by just so quickly.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game last night? No. I knew the answer. I didn't watch it either. No. So starting at midnight, that checks me out of there. You know. So.
I was asleep by 9:30.
But you've seen the news, right? They got a draw last night.
Oh no, I didn't.
They got a draw, so they're almost certainly through to the final 16.
Wow.
If they win their next one, they're through. If they tie their next one, they're through. And
Wow.
if they lose their next one by only a tiny bit, then they're still probably through.
Huh.
The only way they can be kicked out now is if they lose by a huge goal difference and Senegal loses by a not so bad goal difference.
Huh.
So they're almost certainly through.
Cool.
So people who are into soccer are really, really kind of happy about this.
Oh, I'm sure. That's exciting. Oh, you finished the green.
I finished tracing the green. We
Yeah,
found lots of
finished.
interesting things along there too, along the way. You know, I'm not quite sure how to do this. When I did the Great Wave a couple of years ago,
Right.
I took lots and lots of video. I wasn't working on an iPad.
Yeah.
So I was working on a screen, so I could shoot the thing with video. And it ended up, we had like whatever it was, 15 or 16 episodes of doing the thing.
Yes.
Now, I haven't been doing that with this print, and we're discovering things all the way along that sort of would make little interesting points to talk about or episodes or stuff. But I
Yeah.
haven't been catching any of them.
Right.
They've been going out on Twitch. You know, I was just chatting with somebody with the Twitch gang here about the way the guy forgot to carve one part of the green block and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know. But none of those things are being caught except as
Right.
part of the Twitch stream.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure going forward, when we do eventually have this print in our catalog, there won't be an accompanying set of videos that really tell
Show
the
the
story, you know. So
And I think for Or you'd have to be careful what you show if you put it on YouTube.
Well, remember, we do have a separate YouTube channel for this print,
Right.
and I did do the first episode, but I haven't been following up and keeping up to it, you know. So I don't know. I'm losing out on it, or just don't worry about it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been no dramatic episodes yet so far. The Great Wave story had so many really strong setbacks,
Right.
and so it really was a story at the end of the day. This one, I think, won't have such a specific story. It's just details of the process. You know. Well, so I'm not sure. Have you seen it? We've got this split screen thing worked out pretty well now.
Oh.
Did you see this last
Oh,
week?
yes. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you made another change on it.
But what we've done, I've cleaned it up. I've got it better organized and better clarified. And the sound, we had...
Use one of these to...
Okay, yeah,
from
good.
getting too hot.
A couple of them, so you'll need two, I think. Then I had thought we were up and running and clear and good, but then yesterday's stream, 2 days ago stream, 2 days ago stream, must be Saturday, we got all kinds of complaints. Dave, the sound is no good. I can't hear. The sound is crackling. It's breaking up. There was just all kinds of... And so again, just, you know, there's every time I get this sorted out, more technical problems seem to come along. So what I did yesterday was I got my headphones out and I switched it to a sound monitoring system where I could hear the sound that was going out. And because I could hear it, I went to the sound settings and I put in a thing that cuts out hiss and stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
And they said, oh my God, it's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's wonderful.
Great.
So actually it seems at the moment we're working with pretty good video and pretty good sound. And they will let us know immediately if it's not like that. So what I've got is I've got a noise suppressor working at the moment on this. Anyway, yesterday's feedback was, hey, this is okay, this is good.
Great.
But it's simply it's okay for a few minutes until the next thing goes wrong. You know?
Yeah, of course. That's the spirit. Everything's great until it isn't.
We also, there was one, and I had the sound sort of quite maxed yesterday. The microphone is here.
Yeah.
Ishikawa-san was printing on the weekend, so they told you what happened.
Headphones resulted in a humorous moment with Ishikawa-san.
Humorous?
Do tell, what happened?
Whatever, she just came through this. I said, say hello. My computer was here, so to get her face in, she had to lean over, put her head right here. And I said, I was thinking, be careful, the microphone's right here. And she thought what I meant was, oh, the microphone's there, so speak into it. And she put her highest, loudest voice on and screamed something like, hello, everybody. I forget what she said. And her mouth was right there. And I had headphones, so I had to grab my headphones off. You know, and I guess everybody in the stream had the same thing. You know?
Yeah.
It was like the persuader coming into action without having a chance to warn everybody. You know. And she still doesn't know what she did. She just left and ran upstairs laughing, and like we're all shell shocked.
So we all went deaf for only a couple hours.
I know, whatever.
That's funny. The Octopus Print, a short story in 27 parts.
Drawing black blobs, you know. So whatever. Is that the door down there? Who's in Kwai? Kwai-san and well, it might be
Monday.
It might be Sugu-san, I guess. Right? Okay. I'm just thinking about what paper. I didn't bring take Ishikawa-san's paper out. She didn't write me an email. I've got Sugu-san's paper out.
Okay.
I heard the door down there. I think it's perhaps Sugu-san coming. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. If it's Ishikawa-san, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, it's not quite 9 yet, though, so who else?
I heard the door. Did you leave it open or did you lock it?
No, it was locked when I came up, so I re-locked it just in case.
Oh, maybe it's somebody
Trying to come up. Each black blob has its own story. They must all be told.
Well, they got their own character. I get that, but yeah, so.
Akira 1803. Oh, I didn't know you had a Twitch. I saw a documentary about you, I think, some time ago. I'm so happy to see this. Thanks for coming. Glad to have new faces here on Twitch.
Every day now, I know over the weekend there was lots and lots of people. The documentary has now migrated around the world, and it's now on the KLM Air France network.
Yeah.
And we're getting lots of people who saw it on Air France.
Cool.
And it makes me think that
here in the shop, you mean? Or
yes. No,
wow.
Here in the shop. And it's been on the Delta system for quite a while.
Yeah.
But I think probably it's down in the menu, down in the menu, down in the menu. Because we've had some people who've seen it. And now it's like everybody who goes on an Air France flight has seen this thing. Because it must be high up on the menu or something, or featured in some way, or whatever. I don't know.
Or everyone who flies to Japan just watches documentaries.
I don't know. Or it could be that, from Air France they're coming a longer way. The Americans come from Delta 9-hour flight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not anyway, we're hearing lots.
The less known God says, I just saw it on her KLM flights last week. So, yeah, people are seeing it on flights. That's so cool.
I still haven't got a copy. I've only seen it once at that film festival last year.
Oh, that's right. Or they switched it to alphabetical order. Art of the game. Put you right at the top.
Yay.
Akira in Canada. Didn't see it on Air France. Where did you watch it?
Amazon Prime or something, maybe.
Oh, yeah. On KLM, there are only about 5 things in the TV section, and Art of the Game was
there
one
you
of
are.
them.
So that's it.
Hey,
so
that's
it's a question. Yeah. Good. No competition. So that's.
Stephen Chin says YouTube has really been pushing your videos the past couple of weeks to him.
No, for the past year it's been happening. It started June, I forget, 24th or 26th, something last year. YouTube has been pushing our videos to everybody, for which we are extremely grateful.
Yeah. So glad I finally decided to watch one. So.
Good.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here too.
But I've got to get busy, because we are now in a situation where it's a month since I did one, and if I don't get it up, YouTube's algorithm is going to say this guy is history. Da-da-da. There's really bad splashes here now. This black. There's I don't know, either missed carving or the printer hit the thing. Bad clearing.
I wonder, because there is a, I don't know, half a second delay or so on the iPad, if you added a half-second delay to the other 2 videos, would that make everything sync?
Maybe, but I don't mess around with this. We've got right now pretty nice clean.
Yeah, no, it is good.
Tell you what, though, we can actually test that without broadcasting. We can run this and try this and see what we see on our screen.
Yeah.
So we can try that on a dry run without trying to do it while we're flying.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a bit of a change in the schedule for downstairs. I know we had been planning Tuesday, tomorrow, to put the floor in.
Right.
And Amazon's asked me, let's postpone that a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
He wants to get all the cabinet work finished first and then pack up the table saw. And I haven't finished the coffee table yet, and that's my job for tomorrow. I've got the wood now. I've got it all measured. Tonight I'll order the wood, have it delivered.
Okay.
But he wants to... He's really nervous about smashing up the floor, so we're going to finish furniture first. So the floor won't be going in on Tuesday. So it'll be maybe Thursday or Friday. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But what that means is I won't be taking this bench down. What I had planned was the floor goes in Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was going to maybe do a real surprise, take my bench downstairs, put it in the corner and set up the camera and do the first new stream Wednesday from downstairs. Even though we're not open, but down here. So that's not going to happen now. So Wednesday I will be back here, same time, same station. In this place. But we're getting close now.
Yeah.
The coffee table is the last big furniture job. He's almost finished the browser bins. He'll be finishing those probably today. Then the floor, and then we're up.
Cool. Ken Hallett, right as you started talking about flooring, asked, is the flooring going in downstairs tomorrow? And then he immediately wrote, oh, that was timely. Nice.
The other thing too, I know we're as partly justification for that, he's cracked open all the flooring packages and spread them out.
Oh, nice.
And that's a common sense thing. It really is a dangerous thing. When you buy flooring, it's sealed in the packs from the factory. You open it up, slam it on your floor, and now it hasn't had time to acclimatize.
Yeah.
So all the flooring packages say the same thing. Do not open this package and stick me on the floor. Open me up and let me breathe for a while.
Yeah.
And it's common sense. So we've opened them all up. We've got this stuff out there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our excuse for it.
The last known god took a photo of the in-flight entertainment box to show where Art of the Game is. You're right in between, or right after Disney's A Wrinkle in Time and something I've never heard of, Den of Thieves, Game Night, and then something it looks like in other, or not English, and I'm not familiar enough, so I'm not even going to guess on languages, sorry. But I didn't notice this, but it's marked as bad language on that movie. I don't remember that.
On ours?
Yeah.
Bad language?
Bad language, when? I don't remember any bad language.
What, does it say bad language?
That's what it says.
Like bad English I can get. I don't whatever. I don't. No, there's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
What?
That's what it says. Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I haven't actually seen it except once quickly in the film festival.
Right, in the film festival. But I don't remember any such bad language.
I don't either. I don't know. Did I curse at Jed once or something? Or I don't know. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Canal says, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to watch it again."
The other funny thing about this is that thing is now listed in these like online databases. What's it called?
IMDb,
or something like
Internet
this, or
Movie
whatever.
Database, yeah.
And I was watching for it. I haven't checked in months, but I was checking for it on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
What's our Rotten Tomato review or something
Score,
like this in
yeah.
the store? I haven't checked in months. It might not even be there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is when you go to the what's it called?
Yeah, IMDb.
You click it up and it's got a listing in there. And it's got the title,
Yeah.
producer, and then it says stars.
Yes.
And the top of it says stars, Dave Bull. Like here I am in the Global International Movie Database. I am an official, actual movie star.
Woo! So funny here on
What a joke.
on the in-flight entertainment. The cast is T. Tokikawa and D. Bull.
Oh,
Jed's
really?
not even in the movie.
Neither is Tokikawa. He's the cameraman.
Yeah, why is he in the cast and Jed not? Oh, that's funny. But Jed doesn't even show up in this. Maybe they cut out his scene. That would be so sad. IMDb, Art of the Game. I'm curious.
What does it say on Rotten Tomatoes? I'm curious about that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. What is it? What do they have? Tomato ranking? 10 tomatoes or something? I don't know how it works. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need to look. I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry.
Rotten Tomatoes is down. Or something. Oh well.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes won't load for me. It's giving me an HTTP status 500 error.
You're in Chrome, are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I didn't want to touch
Yeah.
the other browser. But IMDb loaded. 7.7 out of 10 out of 21 reviews.
That's not bad. I think
That's not
7.7.
bad. Yeah.
That's not bad. My God,
not bad.
for my first movie.
Yeah.
Oscars, here we come.
Here. 4.9 stars on iTunes.
Out of
5.
no way,
Yeah,
really?
on
That's
iTunes.
wow. Out of reviews, how many? One?
Yeah.
Who's that? Your mother? It's my daughter or something.
Yeah.
Or my own mother. So.
Oh, it looks like Akira 1803 must have seen the quite documentary. The Ito-san one, because he saw it on the internet somewhere and says he remembers when you got the tools from the master in the documentary.
Oh yeah,
that was
the
probably
YouTube video we're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. And it's a pretty long form one, so.
I know the reason people call that a documentary is because Reddit. Somebody posted it to Reddit's, I know what's called subreddit.
Yeah.
Which is documentaries. And somebody posted it over there.
Cool.
The night I put it up, that's what happened. That's where it went to like 20, 30, 40,000 the first night.
Wow.
It was up because somebody saw it as a documentary.
Yeah.
So.
Everyone go to IMDb and quickly give it 10 stars.
No faking, please. No faking. No faking.
We don't want to twist the system, cheat the system.
The only pleasure of having those things is when you know they're organic. If you know it's fake, there's no pleasure in having a high review.
Right.
So please, people, don't do that at all. We don't play the game at all. The pleasure for me is in having this happen naturally. My middle name isn't Trump.
Yeah. All the red blobs they're seeing on the green seaweed now, I say, gives it a bit of a Christmas feel. Because it looks like ornaments
it looks
on
like
trees.
exactly. Soka. As we said before, there aren't any on the left side, and I've gone out to the net and tried to look at other different versions of this print, and none of them have black blobs on the left. None that I've found.
Huh.
Some of them have the yellow.
Yeah.
So these guys left off the yellow, but it seems none of them have the black. And for some reason, the carver just didn't catch it. I can see. He carved a black block for the left side to include her hair, which was the main focus.
Yeah.
And the little baby octopus's eyes.
Yeah.
Or the other octopus's eyes. And he just didn't get blobs. Yeah. So it's my job here. What I'm doing first here, I'm just going to dot roughly from a distance here to get some position. These are not nicely drawn. They're just positioned.
And so you're going to add in black blobs.
I'm going to add in black blobs. I'm going to take Hokusai's original work and I'm going to improve it. Little Dave Bull here. It's not Hokusai's work. It's the carver's printer's work. Yeah. Hokusai clearly, if he had a hand in the blobs at all, we don't know.
Yeah.
Or whatever apprentice put those in or something.
Right.
We don't know. Yeah. The farther down you get in the details of these things, the less and less involved the original artist was.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to dot them up here and here. Try not to put too many in.
That same Akira 1803 asks, what exactly are you doing with the iPad here? I think this is one who is new today.
Okay,
so.
we've tried to talk about this 2 or 3 times today. Okay, we can go back and do this. And we're preparing color blocks for the print. And when you make color blocks for a woodblock print, it's sometimes you don't need a tool like this. You just carve the key block, then you transfer the key block to a new piece of wood. And for example, I can't gesture and show things here.
Well, we can see it up in the corner, so we can see your hand moving around. Or I can make that screen temporarily bigger.
I can zoom in, whatever. I can try doing this. So I can't now see what I'm doing. But suppose you were trying to do these ovals. Suppose they were all supposed to be a certain color on the finished print. Then no problem. You take your key block, which is finished, you print from it, you color in on the ovals, and then you paste that down on a new piece of wood. And you can see the ovals, you cut them, and then at printing time they become, presto, a color block. Now on this print, because, for example, the green that you want here on the seaweed, you can't get that information from the key block. When you print the key block and transfer it, there is no seaweed on it, so you can't see it. It's not bounded by the lines. So this color block for the seaweed and the one here for these black dots has to be drawn independently of the key block. So after I finish doing this drawing, I will print out what you see as these red dots on a separate sheet of paper, and I will lay that on top of a tracing from the key block, of a printout from the key block, which gives me the locations. You'll see it over the next few days. I'll be doing this on Wednesday. I'll be actually pasting this down to start carving on Wednesday.
Cool.
So I'm sorry, it's not so easy to describe in words, but it's physically visible when we do it. So. I'm nervous. He's got lots and lots of clusters of black blobs on the right-hand side. I don't know how much I should cluster up on the left-hand side here. I think if I put too many on, we can always chop them off later. But
Then Zahnverstuving, I'm guessing. Says, hello, I was wondering, have you seen the copy of the octopus print in the book from the British Museum, Shunga, Sex and Pleasure in Japanese Art?
No, but the British Museum copy is well known. It's online on their website. I have seen it, and it's printed very heavy. The green seaweed on that one, I don't know how many copies they've got. The main copy they have, the green seaweed is printed so heavily you can't even see the key lines underneath it. So I couldn't use the British Museum copy for my tracing.
Yeah.
The copy I got from Weidesan is in much better condition than the British Museum copy.
Wow.
And they may have more than one. The one that's on their website is not usable for me because it's so deep. And the green is printed so dark you can't see the key blocks and you can't see these black blobs on the right hand side.
Got it.
But again, I've got to qualify that. They may have more than one copy. I don't know. They've got 5 or 6 great waves. Okay, I've pointed where I think I might like to have some blobs, and let's now try and draw them in what might be a similar style to the other one. They're not showing as deep red here because there's no black below them.
Right.
But once we've knocked out the bottom,
Did Steve asks,
it will show the same.
Yeah. If the dots were originally included in the design on the right-hand side, wouldn't there be some incomplete patterns or flowers, etc., where they were supposed to be on the left side? Wouldn't there be some sort of indication that, oh, the black blobs are missing from this side?
No. And remember, these are 2 different wood blocks. The right-hand side is one wood block, and the left-hand side is another wood block.
Right.
They could have been carved by different people. They could have been traced by different people. Assuming that everything went properly, the guy who's doing the tracing maybe did the whole book. Okay, he did sheet number 1, then he did sheet number 2, then sheet number 3. Yeah. He probably drew those black dots. He did this one first, and then he moved down to the next page and drew the black dots when he was doing the color separations. Yeah. Let's assume that everything went properly according to plan. The one on the right-hand side went to a carving team. They carved it. The one on the left-hand side went to a carving team. These black dots, I think, are quite insignificant. When the guy got this block to carve, when he's carving the color block here, when the guy got this block to carve, he simply, bang, there it is, the hair. The woman's hair is on this block. So that's my focus. Oh my God, here it is, it's hair. Delicate hair, carve this hair, delicate hair, carve this delicate hair. Bang, 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 on you go, on you go, on you go.
Yeah.
He spent all his focus and time on that hair, then the octopus eyes. And on the left-hand side, there are only going to be a dozen or so.
Yeah, I think we zoom out a little bit on that one.
Okay, sorry. Right. So the right-hand side for that black block has simply the 2 octopus eyes, and then dot, 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 all over the place. There's lots of the black dots,
right. And
there's only 2 octopus eyes. Carver A carved that. The other sheet, which was prepared the same way, the guy drew all the hair, then a few dots, tuk, 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 tuk. That went to maybe a different carver, maybe the same carver. But anyway, he gets that sheet. It's the hair.
Yeah.
He gets in there, carves the hair, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, carves the hair, carves the octopus eyes. There's only a dozen or so dots, black dots on this one.
Right.
And it's quite conceivable that he just didn't see them.
And
he gets his chisel and chopped them off. I've done worse myself. You know, people on the stream have watched me carve off a registration mark.
Yeah.
So it's totally, absolutely within the realm of possibility. After he did the hair, which he was focusing on, that's it, man, I'm done with this. Hi, hack it off to my lunch and let's get going.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is not a strange, oh my God, how could they have made such a big mistake? No, this is a totally understandable, very easy to make mistake. And my guess is it's the carver who made that mistake. Yeah. But it could have been the previous stage, the guy who's drawing the black. He did the same thing. He spent all his time drawing the hair, getting it right, getting it ready, and then forgot to add the black dots.
Got it.
Goes downstream to the carver. He doesn't know, he doesn't care, he just carves it.
Yeah.
So one of those 2 guys, the guy preparing the color separations, doing the job that I'm doing right now, not with an iPad, but with a brush and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
He forgot them, or the carver knocked them off by mistake.
Got it.
It's certainly nothing to do with printers at that end of it.
Yeah.
Because that black block is printed.
Yeah.
Because the hair is there. So we don't know. One of those 2 guys just made a slight little error, and that's all there is to it. And it's fun. It makes a nice story, and I'm going to fix it. This is Kawai-san. He made it. I was worried because he watched the soccer game last night till about 2 in the morning. So I was wondering if he was going to make it today.
Yeah.
He's a reliable guy, of course.
Yeah.
But you better believe he set his alarm this morning.
Of course.
He'll be happy too about the 2-2 tie.
Oh yeah. I think that's so interesting that soccer or football allows ties to happen, whereas so many sports, at least in the U.S., they just force you into overtime, extra periods, extra innings.
Well, these guys do the same. In the final, there will be a penalty kick. Oh, not a penalty kick. What do they call it? I forget the name for it. Where they line up and shoot the goal.
That's right.
Good morning.
Hi-san, good morning.
Hi.
Did you watch the game last night?
Well, of course.
Happy
Of
でしょ?
course.
まあハッピーですね。
ハッピーですね。
セネガルで2-2はでも
だからほ
ビハイン
とんどもう
ドしてそうビハインドして
16まではほとんど
いい試合ですね。
そう
ベリーグッドグッドデーフォージャ
ちょっと聞きたいことはですね、ゴールの川島さんですか? Why is he still? Why don't they get rid of him? Every game he's screwing up now.
彼はちょっとね
Every
変えた方がいい
game
と。だってパスだもんね。最後パンチング見た？見てない。
そう。
パンチング。あれデイブさん見たの？
見た。今日のニュース読んだんです。
もうあれは頭こうパンチングしてキャッチもできるかなっていう、まあ真正面来たから、パンチングした瞬間相手にぶつかったって。
He just punched the guy in the
No, punched the ball back to the opposition instead of catching it and holding it.
Why would
Punched it back straight to the opposition player, who said, "Oh, okay, thank you. I know what to do with this," and in it went.
Wow.
This is the World Cup. And this guy in the previous game also, he made another mistake. I mean, he's screwing up everything. じゃあ、第2ゴールはあんまり良くないですか?
第2ゴールキーパー。なんか経験
ないです。
川島がエクスペリエンスがベテランでやっぱりワードだからわかんない。みんな技術的には多分ね。
So number 2 man is waiting, but he hasn't got experience. Yeah, okay. Also, I meant to ask you, in the first game, Kawashima-san, he got a yellow card. Why? What did he do? I didn't see that.
遅延行為です。だからそのタイムが日本が 2-1 で勝ってて、川島が最後後半ハーフそれで最後ちょっと時間をこう使ってテイクタイム使って
wasted time.
wasted time って
そうか。Okay, I get it.
イエロー出る。
Okay, I get it. Okay. I can see mine are too small. I've been a little.
It says it was the designer just to screw with people many years later, so that we'll all think, "Oh, where are the black dots on this side?"
No way. It's funny, but no, not in any way true. These guys were professionals.
Yeah.
And if I say that they're professionals, then why did they screw up? They're working within the parameters of the job. They're professionals, but this is a quick, fast, dirty, blow it out the door job. I've said this a million times.
Yeah.
Well within the parameters of what's acceptable.
Yeah.
No, because clearly, once the book is being then printed, the printer must have noticed, hey, look what happened, they forgot this. And at that point, there's a sort of decision. Does it go up the chain to the publisher? Oh, shit, let's recarve this. And clearly, they just blow it out, get going, who cares?
Yeah.
It's a book of porn. You know what Richard Lane called these books? He's dead now. He was one of the leading researchers analyzing these books. I mean, they were sort of hidden and not talked about for many years. But just when Lane came along, it was finally getting put, we can publish about these and we can talk about these without being ashamed and embarrassed and all that stuff.
Right.
So he did research papers on the Shunga, and he published a couple of books for the general public about these books. And the phrase he used to describe these small Shunga books was books that were meant to be read while holding with one hand. And it's whatever that's what they're designed for.
Yeah.
You're talking about a populace. This is in Edo, and I don't know the numbers. It's like 80% men and 20% women, because people would not have their families there. These people were, all the daimyo and retainers who lived in the provinces had to spend X months of each year or whatever, blah, 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 living in. And they didn't bring all their families, of course not.
Yeah.
So you had all these men and workers and guys who had been farmers in the summer. They came to the town to the winter to do things like making woodblock prints and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why there was a red light district and why there were books like this.
Yeah.
Something like Contemporary Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Ken Hallett. Octopus porn and World Cup updates. Dead Steve. An average Monday morning.
Is that what we're known? Is that why what's our Twitch viewership now? Is it shrunk down like to about 10 people now or something? We used to have like 100 people plus every day. It must have shrunk down to a dozen or so.
I don't know.
How many watching at the moment? Let us know. I don't know if I want to know, but whatever. We're going to destroy this channel one way or another. You know, other Twitch viewers are shooting for their million, and we're
down to 64. Jesus.
Whatever. What can I do? Once we start printing this thing, I think we may be able to crank it up a little bit, if we don't get shot.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm done here. I think I'm done. That's all the damage I can do
2 to the
today.
5th power, which is also 60.
Oh well, whatever. Okay, camera's down. I think I'm done here.
Okay. It's 9:23. You want
we're
to
about
just
right
wrap
now.
up,
Okay.
or are you gonna?
Tonight, well, we got a few things. I know
Okay.
tomorrow we're off, of course, because it's Tuesday.
Right.
Today for me, it's a cabinet building day. If we can find the parts to my router, which seem to have been lost downstairs, we might have to buy a new router. We can't find the base for it, but whatever. Plan is I build the coffee table tomorrow. We do the main cabinet work is all finished in the shop as of Tuesday.
Wow.
So Wednesday, I won't be downstairs. I'll be back up here. And what I should be doing is I'll be printing out. I can't do this on stream. Take this to the laser printer and do this on stream, but I will print this on the laser printer off stream. Then Wednesday morning, the plan is I will be back here with this green thing laser printed ready. I will paste it on a piece of wood and we will get carving. You know, that will be any more interesting than drawing it. I don't know, but anyway, it will be normal woodblock printmaking work.
Yeah.
Then so for those next few days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're probably streaming carving. There should be a good show and tell on Wednesday. I was chatting with people before you got here. I bought a print on auction last night. That could be just another print, or it could be something really, really interesting and spectacular. And it might be difficult to talk about because it's going to be big. It's a double O-band print.
Oh wow!
So we'll have to sort of zoom out and move the camera back.
That's called an O-ban. No.
There's various names for it. Oh, so O-band or Dai ban or whatever. There's different names for it. Or it could be that that's not what I got last night.
Yeah.
So we'll try and do some kind of show and tell on Wednesday for that. Other than that, it's difficult to look that far in advance.
Yeah.
So.
Our teacher Wiggs, out of curiosity, do you do your own original work? What do you mean? Do you mean designs? 'Cause you do have some designs.
Well, I did in years past. I tried a series of original prints based on nature designs, so semi adapted photographs. But no, I'm not an artist. It's fun though. We've got in our Hunger Club series in the shop here.
A few of yours.
And they're bestsellers. They're good sellers, you know. So I could have been a semi-decent B-level, C-level illustrator. I'm not an artist in a creative creation sense, but I could have been a decent illustrator if I had kept it up and practiced more.
Yeah.
My choice was to go with where my skills really do lie, more in the construction and doing all the other jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the website, if you looked it up on woodblock.com, there's a section of prints called My Solitudes, which are, in quotation marks, originals, and some of them are attractive. But cool. I stay with what I can do, which is running this company and a bit of carving and a bit of this and that.
Okay.
I think we're good to go, are we? So,
we will see you next time.
So I'll be back here.
Tomorrow.
Day off, not tomorrow. I'll be back here Wednesday morning, same time, same station, with some carving work.
All right.
Thanks for watching,
Thanks a
guys.
lot.
Thank you very much.